Have you been praying for something but still haven't gotten the answer to it? Have you been praying for something and you're wondering what's causing the delay? Listen, sometimes, well, let me say this first. God answers every prayer, but sometimes the answer may not be the answer that you was expecting. And sometimes God will give you a no because he's trying to get you to a bigger yes. Walk with me. Listen, I'm Billy Miller, the motivational minister, and they call me the motivational minister because I help people to improve their lives by teaching them life skills from the Bible. And today I want to talk about how sometimes God won't answer your prayer the way you expect, or you may not get the answer that you're expecting because God has the bigger picture. God has a bigger picture. And let me share a quick story with you. I don't want to hold you long. Years ago, when I first got saved, when I first received Christ, I came into Christianity with what I thought a Christian was. And this is what I always tell people, especially when I'm mentoring somebody or they just became a believer. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so what happens is, like when I got saved, I came into Christianity. I didn't come into Christianity with a blank mind. I came into Christianity with what I think a Christian is. So here's what I mean. I got saved. So the first thing I said, well, okay, well, I gave my life to Christ. So I guess I need to start going to church. And I was working a job that required me to work on Sundays. I was like, man, I can't be a Christian and can't go to church, right? Remember, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. I had a good intent, right? I had a good heart behind it, but that wasn't the right move at the time. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I said, I need to go back to church. And so what I did, I was going to go back to the church that I grew up in. I was going to go to the church that my parents went to. And this wasn't the church that I needed to be at. Now, it wasn't a bad church. I'm not saying it's a bad church. But as far as becoming who I am today, that wasn't the church that I needed to be at. But because I don't know what I don't know, hey, I need to go to church. So I need to start going to my parents' church. And I prayed and asked, could I get off on Sundays? And I couldn't get off on Sundays. I mean, I'm like, and so I felt bad about it. I felt like there's a guilt, like this, almost like it was my fault. Like I said, I'm a baby Christian. I don't know. So I said, this is what I'm going to do. This is just something I came up with myself. I said, well, I'm going to go to the Bible study. They have a Bible study on Tuesday. So I'm going to go to the Bible study because I can't go to church, right? But then because I don't know what I don't know, I'm thinking church Sunday is the main thing. I said, well, I need to go to another Bible study too, right? And so my girlfriend at the time was going to a church, so I started going to her Bible study on Thursdays. Now, here's the blessing in disguise. And here's why I'm glad I didn't have Sundays off and I couldn't go to that church, because this is what would have happened. The church was more inspirational than informational. You understand what I mean by that? So like you'll go to church on Sunday and you'll feel good. You know, the preacher will hoop and shout, but I wouldn't have got it. It was more inspirational than informational. And during this time of my life, during this stage of my life, I needed information. You follow me? I needed to be taught. I needed to be trained in the Word of God. But I didn't know that. And this is what I believe would have happened if I would have had Sundays off. I would have went to that church. I would have got a lot of inspiration. I would have been, motivated. I would have heard a lot of hooping. I wouldn't have went to the Bible study, right? Because I would have felt that the Sunday thing was enough. And also, this is the biggest thing I think would have happened, because this was what I call a traditional church, meaning a lot of people there are not really saved. Sometimes you just go to church just because it's just traditional to do so. You just grew up going to church, especially in our culture. You just grew up, your parents made you go to church. And so I was serious about this thing. You know, I got saved for real. You follow me? I mean, like I'm serious and I want to get my life right. And if I would have went, I would have saw majority of the people who were just church as usual, who wasn't really into it. And sometimes when a lot of people are going this way and you're going the opposite way, it's kind of like you're going against the grain. Sometimes you'll feel like, man, am I the only? After a while, you just be like, let me just go with everybody else because maybe I'm the fool. You got me? And I believe I would have probably lost my way. I believe I probably wouldn't have been as serious. I believe I would have been like, oh, I was thinking it was something that it's not. But because I couldn't get off on Sundays, I was going to that Bible study on Tuesday, right? At the same church. Now, here's the blessing behind that. You know, even though that pastor hoop and shout on Sundays, a Bible study he's going to teach, or he's going to have some teachers. You know, nobody's not going to be hooping and shouting during the Bible study. Is they sitting down and going line upon line, and that's what I needed, and that's what I loved, and that's why I started gaining from. I got saved in a college, right? In a Bible club. And the Bible club was just pretty much, they just have Bible studies every Wednesday, right? So here I was going to a Bible study on Tuesday at this church. I was going to the Bible study in the Bible club on Wednesdays. And then Thursdays, I was going to my girlfriend's church at a Bible study. And in my mind, I felt that this would compensate for missing out on Sundays. You know, even though I didn't have to have that guilt like that, or felt like I needed to compensate like that, but it was a blessing in disguise because I was being taught the word of God 3 days a week. And that was the beginning of my transformation. And that eventually, I began to love the word. I developed a hunger for the word. And man, that's how I increase this hunger, increase this passion. I have a hunger for knowledge. And I always say this, listen, the key to all of my achievements is not my skill, it's not my talent, it's not luck, it's not even my gift. The key to all of my achievements is my hunger for knowledge. And I eventually began to teach. And I became a teacher. And I think that was necessary for the path that I was going down. So my point of all of this is sometimes God doesn't answer prayer, right? He answers prayer, but sometimes he doesn't answer in the way you think because you can't see the full picture. In my mind, I could have looked at it like, man, God's not coming through. God's not opening this door for me to get off on Sundays. He sees what I'm trying to do. Oh, yeah, he sees what you're trying to do, and then you're about to make a wrong move. So sometimes he'll hold back, or sometimes he won't answer, or sometimes he'll allow things to happen because of the full picture. And guess what? I didn't get Sundays off for a long time, but that didn't stop me from growing. That didn't stop me from elevating. And it was a blessing in disguise. Listen, I would have wound up quitting. But guess what? You can't quit now. And guess what? If I would have quit, I would have never been able to write this book called You Can't Quit Now. And listen, this book is a book I want to give to you for free if you like it. If you would like this book, just comment book in the comment section. And I'm going to make sure that you get it. I'm going to make sure you get it. As a matter of fact, let me see this here. Forgive my finger. I'm swiping. I'm trying to find something. There you go. I knew I had it up here. Comment book in the comment section because I want to connect with you. It's deeper than just giving you the book. When you sign up for this book, all you guys do is get your name and your email. There's no strings attached. I'm going to send you the PDF file of this book. And then I'm also going to send you an 11-minute audio download that you can listen to. And I'm also going to send you a 3-part video series that you can watch. So I cover all areas of learning. I give you something to look at. I give you something to listen to. And I give you something to watch. All for free. All you got to do is comment book in the comment section. And I'm going to make sure you get it. Listen, I also have a another channel that I think you like if you love books. Uh, I'll put the link in the description of this video. Books have changed my life. Books have totally transformed my life. And I'm sharing on that channel the books that have helped me. I'm sharing it with you. It's like a book recommendation, book reviews. But just I put the link in the description of this video. Listen, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. I guess I need to go because that light, like that sun, like it's about to shine on my face. Listen, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed. And always remember that the word is your life.